Hello and welcome. It's me, Andy, here, and here is a video. I haven't done one of these videos for, since 2021. That was the last video I did, and this is called What Is? And we'll try and explain what is something like a benefit, or in this case, access to work. So the question is, what is access to work funding and how it can help you? Now bear in mind that you're probably going to have a job or be self-employed. It's a grant to help pay for practical support with your work, support with managing your mental health at work, and also money to pay for communication support at job interviews as well. So bear in mind that if you do have this, it's a long-winded process. So first of all, we're going to have a look at the gov.uk website and see what's what, and then go from there. So access to work, get disability support for your health condition. And this is financial. So we will have a look at what is access to work. It can help you get or stay in work if you have a physical or mental health condition or disability. The support you get will depend on your needs, and through access to work you can apply for a grant to help pay for practical support. It's also including equipment as well. In my case, I had a laptop and a mobile printer purchased for me in order for me to be able to carry out my job. Support with managing your mental health at work, and money to pay for communication support at job interviews. So what practical support can it help you with? Well, it could be specialist equipment and assistive software, support workers, BSL interpreter, a job coach, or a travel buddy. Cost of travelling to work if you cannot use public transport. That's quite a useful one. I know several people that use that. Adaptations to your vehicle so you can get to work. That's interesting. I did not know that. That is a new one on me. And also physical changes to your workplace if you need it. And of course your workplace, if you're self-employed, can include your home if you work from home, or some or all of the time. It does not matter how much you earn. If you get access to work grant, it will not affect any other benefits that you get, and you will not have to pay it back. You or your employer may need to pay some upfront costs and claim them back later. Mental health support to manage your mental health at work, which might include a tailored plan to help you get or stay in work, one-to-one sessions with a mental health professional. Now, what communication support can you get for interviews? If you're deaf or hard of hearing, you may need a BSL interpreter or lip speaker. You have a physical or mental health condition or learning difficulty, and you need support in communicating. Now, what will the access to work not pay for? Well, it will not pay for reasonable adjustments, and this is obviously your employer is responsible for that under the law. And also they will advise your employer if changes should be made as reasonable adjustments. Right, let's see who is going to be able to get this. Various things here, which is for support in your work and also for your mental health. This is for those people who have a physical or mental health condition or disability. That means you need support to do your job or get to and from work. You're over 16, you're in paid work or about to start or return to paid work in the next 3 months. Live and work in England, Scotland or Wales. You cannot get access to work if you live in the Channel Islands or the Isle of Man. Your disability, illness or health condition, this is the support can be a physical disability, for example if you're hard of hearing or use a wheelchair, a learning disability or related condition, a developmental condition like autism, have ADHD or dyslexia, an illness such as diabetes or epilepsy, a temporary condition like a broken leg, or a mental health condition, for example, anxiety or depression. You do not need to be diagnosed with a condition to apply. Your work. You need to have a paid job or about to start one. A paid job can be full or part-time, employment, self-employment, apprenticeship, a work trial or work experience, an internship and a work placement. You cannot get access to work for voluntary work. You can obviously still apply if you're working from home, some or all of the time. Your income and benefits. You can get support from access to work, however much you earn, because it's not means tested. At the same time, most benefits as long as you work more than 1 hour a week, so it will not affect your other money that you've got coming in. Now, you can get access to work with ESA at the same time if you work less than 16 hours a week. This is called permitted work you're doing under ESA, and obviously then this will there are separate rules for that. If you're a civil servant, your employer will provide support instead of access to work. So if you're working for DWP or somebody, then yeah, you won't get any help. Mental health support, you can still get help for this by applying, and there's some details there. There's access to work helpline if you're not sure, and of course you can do all the usual things, send a message or whatever, text message and phone calls. So if you're ready to applying for the access to work grant, you can do this on your own, or there are people who offer this service. Now please be aware that I know several who offer this as a service, but they add on their fees onto the money that you're going to be getting, so you'll be paying them directly from your allowance, because it is actually allowed to be done that way. Obviously you can pay for help and support, and if you need help and support, then it's perfectly legal for you to claim that part of it for in this access to work. Now obviously you're going to have several details available, the usual ones: your name, address, your workplace and postcode, information about the conditions affect your work and what you think you would need. So it's only a rough guess. In my case it was I needed a laptop to be able to complete a form with a client, and then I needed to print out the form for the client to sign it, and this was a laptop and a printer, a mobile laptop and a mobile printer, and obviously then a carry case and other things to do with that. And obviously then you'll need your UTR, unique taxpayer reference number, which if you're self-employed will be your HMRC registration number. You can actually apply online with that, or you can apply by phone. So after you've applied for that, they will contact you to talk about your application, and they will need to have they may ask for more information about your work and your disability. They need to have obviously permission to speak to your employer, and also they might arrange for an assessor to come and look at your workplace. It could be by video or it could be in person. And obviously if your circumstances change, then you need to let them know. The other important thing to remember with access to work, that it's quite a considerable amount of money that you can claim every year per person per year, and staggeringly it is £69,000. So you imagine what you can get for that. I don't know, even paying somebody to take you to work and be your assistant, you know, if you're paying them 20 grand a year, that's well within the budget that you have, plus of course any other stuff that you need to get to obviously keep you in work. So you can imagine that this includes training courses, equipment, things like that. So it's quite a lot of money, and of course this article is probably designed for employers, to be honest. So access to work been around since 1994, but less than 1% of disabled population use it. How can employers support individuals with disabilities? It's easier than it looks. Yes, it is, that's right. Now, obviously, the idea is that you have to apply, and as I said before, there are several people who offer this as a service, but obviously they're going to charge you for that. I don't know their success rates, but I'm sure with the idea that they're going to get some money out of it, they're probably going to succeed. Now, applying for it might mean disclosing a disability. So obviously you have to bear in mind that if you've got a job and your employer, you haven't told anybody at work, although it's probably not a wise idea, if you get, and also there is some debate about when you tell them. Do you tell them at the interview, or do you tell them on the job offer, or do you tell them when you've started work? Technically, they can't discriminate. We all know they do. I've had probably 2 occasions, or maybe 3, in my whole life. And to say, from my point of view, the one time that really sticks out for me was I'd started work, and it was my first week. My first week was training, and having been employed by somebody who was professional and had interviewed me, and we had decided that I was the right person for this position. I was then introduced to the actual boss, who was the one that called me in to the office and debated with me whether I would be able to do the job or not. And in actual fact, they were almost insisting that I go to the GP and get some sort of doctor's letter to say that I could do this job. Needless to say, I didn't do that. I went to the CAB, and they were obviously very much on the borderline of being illegal. But yeah, so that was me. But I have to say, it wasn't very pleasant being called in the office. I don't recall having said anything about a disability any time. Although, to be fair, my physical disability is pretty obvious. You've only got to look at me and possibly listen to me as well. So I'm not sure. So if you've disclosed your health condition, it may trigger other things, but obviously you're covered by Equality Act 2010. You don't have to be considered disabled in law to use this grant, and bear in mind that you don't have to pay it back as well, but that is £69,000 per year per person. Yeah, I thought I'd share that with you. It's very, very, very interesting. So there you go. I hope that will help you. I do have another little story that I'm going to be doing on the channel, but for now, that is the end. Have a good day.